Hi, my name's Elizabeth. I'm a bookseller and a book buyer and a book reader. And today I want to talk to you about some books that have come into my collection recently. This year I'm trying to do book hauls of 5 book chunks in different categories just to offset that kind of consumption core thing that hauls can have about them. I am so excited to have these books. Spending money on books is where I invest my art money. And so I'm not ashamed of procuring things for my collection. But, you know, you don't have to buy books. Go to the library. The authors still get paid if you borrow a book from a library. This is what I'm calling my classics, etc. category because it is things that are not genre fiction and things that I buy the least, actually. So I'm trying to do these in chunks of 5, but there is a series, and so I'm just going to put the whole series together as well. First up, we have The Picture of Dorian Gray. Now, this I have already DNF'd, and that is because I was not in the mood for Dorian Gray at the time. I bought it, 1, because I was in the bookstore and I wanted to buy a book. 2, this is one of those vintage classics, lightweight hardback editions with the beautiful covers that I can't resist. And I needed to buy a book, and I'd not read Dorian Gray, and I thought, well, I've actually not read any Oscar Wilde. I thought, well, this is the time. The little pull quote on the back says, "I am jealous of everything whose beauty does not die." And I wonder if there's a blurb for the actual picture of Dorian Gray in here or not. Yes, right at the front. Ooh, it's little marbly end papers, and they have spreads as well. Like, they're so pretty. I can't resist them. The Picture of Dorian Gray. Dorian is a good-natured young man until he discovers the power of his own exceptional beauty. As he gradually sinks deep into a frivolous, glamorous world of selfish luxury, he apparently remains physically unchanged by the stresses of his corrupt lifestyle and untouched by age. But up in his attic, hidden behind a curtain, his portrait tells a very different story. Now, I obviously know what happens. It's a classic. And so culture has told me what happened. Wikipedia told me what happens. But I just was not in the mood to hang out with Dorian Gray and his selfish, hedonistic lifestyle and have him be cranky at other people because he doesn't age and he doesn't die. Just not in the mood. And also because Oscar Wilde writes in a light-hearted, humorous fashion, and you got to be in the mood for that. I've got to be in the mood for that, and I was not. Which does not diminish from the work as a classic, does not diminish from this beautiful edition. It is a reflection on me as a reader. Oh, did I have the year of publication there? This was published in 1890 and a revised and expanded edition in 1891. In response to negative reviews which criticised the book's immorality. Like, that is the point of the book. But okay, whatever. I have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4 of On the Calculation of Volume. This is by Solvej Balle, translated from, I should have looked that up, Danish. This one's translated by Barbara J. Haviland. One of them is translated by someone else. Number 3, I think, is translated by Sophia Hersey-Smith and Jennifer Russell. And I just got a spoiler for book 3 then, bugger. And the 4th one, also translated by Sophia Hersey-Smith and Jennifer Russell. I have all of them because I wanted the covers to be the same edition, and they're beautiful. I will read you the blurb of the first one, and I am excited to keep going with them, but I don't want spoilers, so I'm not going to even look at the blurbs. Put them aside. So this is the blurb for the first one. These also, at least one of them nominated for the International Booker, I'm sure. Oh, it literally says International Booker Prize shortlisted 2025 for Volume 1. Anyway, the blurb. Tara Selter has slipped out of time. Every morning she wakes up to the 18th of November. She no longer expects to wake up to the 19th of November, and she no longer remembers the 17th of November as if it were yesterday. She comes to know the shape of the day like the back of her hand, the grey morning light in her Paris hotel, the moment a blackbird breaks into song, her husband's surprise at seeing her return home unannounced. But for everyone around her, this day is lived for the first and only time. They do not remember the other 18ths of November, and they do not believe her when she tries to explain. As Tara approaches the 18th of November for the 365th time, she can't shake the feeling that somewhere underneath the surface of this day, there's a way to escape. I have read this, and I am keen to read the other three, and you will see my review on that at some point. This was published in Danish in 2020 and the translation in 2024. Let's look at the others. Avoiding spoilers. That's book 4. Book 2 was 2024 in English and 2020 in Danish. Book 3, 2025 in English, 2021 in Danish. And book 4 must also be 2025 in English. And 2026 in English, 2022 in Danish. I think there's 7 overall. Then I bought and read The Director by Daniel Kehlmann. This is translated from German by Ross Benjamin. This was shortlisted for the International Booker Prize this year. And I read it because Luke read it and said it was good. As you know, I'm highly influenceable about books. Just tell me and I'll do it. This was published originally in 2023 and in English in 2025. Did not win the Booker, by the way. In my opinion, didn't deserve to win. But anyway, that's for a different video. The blurb says, when the Nazis seize power, G.W. Pabst, one of cinema's greatest directors, is filming in France. To escape the horrors of the new Germany, he flees to Hollywood. But under the blinding California sun, the world-famous director suddenly looks like a nobody. Not even Greta Garbo, whom he made famous, can help him. When Pabst receives word that his elderly mother is ailing, he finds himself back in his homeland of Austria, which is now called Ostmark. Pabst, his wife, and his young son are confronted with the barbaric nature of the regime, but the Minister of Propaganda in Berlin wants the film genius. He won't take no for an answer, and he makes big promises. What happens next? Finally, in this one is another one that Luke read and said was amazing and I must read, is The Wax Child by Olga Ravn, longlisted for the International Booker Prize this year. And of the 2 that I read, which is this and The Director, this was the one that should have won, but it didn't make the shortlist. Anyway, this is, spoilers, amazing. Let's read the blurb. Oh, look at these end papers, by the way. Like, you can see the cover is a painting and then there's fire in the face. And then the end paper is more fires. Oh, this was translated from Danish, I'm pretty sure, by Martin Aitken. It was a black night in the year 1620 when Christense Krukau made the wax child, when she melted down beeswax and set it in the image of a small human. For days she carried it tucked beneath her arm, shaping it with the warmth of her flesh, giving it life. She fashioned for it eyes and ears that cannot open, and yet it watches and listens. It looks on as Christense is haunted by rumour. It hears what the people whisper. It sees how, in the candlelight, she gazes with love at her friends and hears the things they say in the shadows. It goes on. I loved this book, and again, you will get a review of it forthcoming, but have a look. In the description below, I'm going to have all the details of all these books. This one is weird and different, and one of those things where I read literature with a capital L and I think, what the fuck was that? Give me more. And that is a pile of books that I recently acquired and for the most part recently read, except, Dorian Gray. That is a little embarrassing, but also not every book is for every person, and that's okay. Thanks for hanging out with me talking about books, and we will do this again soon.